afternoon, evening, happy loop if you're a time traveler. You're looking up at the tree, as I do sometimes. About 45 degrees, a little high for the neck, but birds sit on that, but you can see it waving in the wind. Running out of phone memory, so I'm gonna delete this after I upload it. It's driving me nuts, but there's this place. It's by a lake. There's this dusty road that goes to it, bumping up and down. Sometimes you get very close to the edge. Drop your soda out the window and go actually almost in the water. Very steep edges in places. Very calm area. Sorry, my time perception time. Places have their own feel that attracts certain vibes. This one seems to have calm people. Pull off the dirt road you took to get there, passing Roosevelt Dam. And you pull in and there's a few bathrooms there. The host trailer's there, they watch the campground. There's mesquite trees everywhere, aloe veras too. Saguaro cactuses, probably one almost every 50 feet. All different sizes. Every once in a while they all bloom at once. It's beautiful. All of them different colors, short ones, fat ones. And it feels cleaner. There's not much dust in the air. I think the trees catch it. The wind goes on and off. There's these rolling hills. Go up like each side. And across the lake there's this really large hill that has kind of like smaller ones in front of it, and you can see mine tailings up there. It's where they throw the stuff out of the mines on the side of the mountain. And so you go down there and it's kind of like a wide valley you're pulling into, but just filled with trees, and you can see some dirt roads in the campground. There's a lake there, Apache Lake, and you can look across it. There's usually waves. And so you've got your campground there, looking at the top of the trees as you come down. And the lake, and then across the lake is a mountain. Several taller mountains in the background, but it's kind of closed in. You park and you can hear the gravel on the road as you park. It just makes this crunching noise. And you pull up to a spot and kind of roll in there. One of my favorite ones, 37, I call it Jordan Shore. And so it's got, you park there and it's right on the edge of the beach, but up about 12 feet. And so you can kind of fall down into these big rocks like the size of your head. Also square, kind of trapezoid. You set your cup at the table. It's a metal bench with these little lines in it, so the dust on it when you put your cup down goes kind of a scraping noise. Just kind of visualize a picnic table. As you step away with your picnic table, there's gravel by the table, you know. You can hear it crunching under your feet, a little different than the asphalt. You stop, you look around. Beautiful, just rolling hills. Desert. I love it. And on the tops of the hills you can see cactuses peeking out. There's a few boats out there. It's not usually too busy. There's a couple bathrooms that really stink, but I don't know, you smell that bathroom at the camp thing and you know you're camping. People are always chill. So I park at the table, Jordan Shore, number 37, and I stand at the edge and I just look down the rocks, the water. The water like hits those rocks and they're flat, so they reflect the sound better than the dirt. And you can stand there and just hear the waves hit the rocks, no matter how small they are. They hit those rocks and they make that splashing noise. it's not as smooth as a beach. And you just listen to that for a minute, and everything disappears, and then from listening to the waves, you can see the water, and it's almost like you're standing there above the water and nothing else exists for a minute. You step on a few rocks as you go down. They move a little, but they weigh like 500 pounds, so they don't move a lot. So they'll shuffle and you can slip. Make your way down there, catching some fishing string on the way that was laying there. Get on a nice heavy rock, and you can put your foot like in a little area where you can see the clear water, because it's stuck between the rocks as they go down to the beach. So you're like not sitting it down there for piranhas to eat it. Not that they're there, but you can see where your toes going. Cool them off. Or just sit there and listen and absorb everything. Most of the time there's some kind of clouds. So there's shadows on the ground that go and come. It's kind of dim and dimmer, or bright and dark if it's a storm coming. Clouds kind of pass by slowly. When you're in an open spot, you can even see the shadows going by the clouds. So I usually walk a little further over, and there's this beach. It's not very wide, but it kind of goes down slow and then gets a little deeper. And it's covered in gravel and grass. So like as you go down there, you kind of hop between grass patches, and especially when it's hot, because the rocks get toasty. And it's like going through a creek on the rocks, but you're just going through hot gravel on the grass. And you hop on a few, and you sit down. If you sit in the gravel, it kind of crunches onto your butt, but it's not too bad if you've got little gravels. But I like to go down a little further where I can sit like in the harder sand or on the edge of the grass, and then I just sit there and I feel the cool on my feet. Just beach and your feet just hitting the sand right as they cool down and they're comfy. Then I push them in a little bit, my heel first and then my toes, wiggle them in the sand. I'm at the beach. It would be a crime not to enjoy sand on your toes. Just a minute. And then you have your butt in the sand, feet in the sand, and then I push them up a little further to where my heels are still in the sand, but like it's going underwater, so my foot's all wet and my toes are sticking out. That way I'm not stepping on gravel and rocks. And you just sit there and you're right down there, right by the waves. It's like you could almost feel them, and you listen to the slosh, and they just go up on the beach calmly like there. I'm happy. It's so relaxing. And in the background, the wind. There's these mesquite trees. They get really big. You've seen them. However, already means green tree. It's got the green leather-like bark. Mesquite's got split bark like a pine tree kind of. But they're all over. There's this whooshing that the wind makes in the trees. But when there's so many of one thing, you can hear it more. Like, you can't really hear it in town, but when there's little trees like that with the little needles everywhere and tiny leaves, you can almost hear it like a high-pitched hiss. Very quiet. So when the wind blows, you get this whoosh. And so between that and the waves, this thing is like very calming. And then the clouds going over every few seconds. Like one of my favorite places, and just up from it, it's fed by Roosevelt Dam, and there's a dam there that the aliens showed us how to build so we could see how the pyramids were made. I'm just kidding. But there's this dam there, and it's really old. They rebuilt it, added to it, but the base of it's really old. And it just holds that lake in. They actually drain some of the lake, and then put it back in there on a regular basis. It's like backup power. That's Roosevelt Dam. From up there you can look down on the lake, but it goes from paved up there just after the bridge and the dam to dirt, and you got to go about 8 miles down this windy dirt road to get to Burnt Corral. This is what I was talking about. It's at Apache Lake, and you take it down there and it goes around these few ledges, and there's a sign that says scenic route, another one that shows you falling off the ledge, you know, that upside down horseshoe. It's quite a road, but it's fun to look off when you're not driving with the stuff on the sides. Then you get down, I think it's milepost 238. You turn down on the Burnt Corral Road. There's a lower and an upper, but I forgot which one's which. I think it's upper I usually go to. And lower, I don't know. That's the one you can drive to, the other one you gotta walk to. It's just so peaceful there. You set up a fire before the sun's going down. You collect your wood, get it off the ground, and then you build a fire, little sticks to big sticks, tower it however you want on the top to burn fast or slow. You light that up, and you can sit at your campsite and just watch the water and feel the fire. And there's animals that walk around, coyotes and stuff like that. The stars are so much clearer. If you sit down by the boat dock, the waves that bounce off the boats, and you can hear them shaking and splashing, sometimes from quite a ways away. There's one spot, it's a beach, but of rock. There's no sand on it. You gotta walk way out on the rocks, and it can hurt your feet. And then there's kind of a beach out there, but it's a neat little spot. That's one of my favorite ones there. Not as many people go out on it because it's all rocks, but some people do like I do and take their shoes off at the beach because they're relaxing. You gotta walk careful because there's stuff there, but not a lot of glass and bad stuff there except fish hooks and string. Just put you there, the calm water, put yourself there. Waves coming in slow or fast. Wind shaking the trees. Clouds passing by intermittently. And the wind goes a little faster, you can feel on your back, like it's saying, get in the water. I got so distracted by someone playing in the water one time just because they were having so much fun. I didn't even think to get in at first. They had to tell me to. But it's that kind of calming. Just peaceful. And I got the hourglass. I always use it. It's just about done. But they let you look at something. That way you're not staring at the phone or staring at little alerts. Distract your visual process. Imagine something. Burnt Corral, Arizona. I'm gonna have some of my ashes put there, I decided. And in Matt Saloon and Prescott, and a couple other places. I can be the ghost, maybe, if God lets me. That'd be fun. Hope everyone's having a good day. No matter what happens, focus on the good stuff. Tell someone thanks for being something that they are that's different than someone else. Making jokes or being funny or optimistic or thinking twice or whatever, you know. Text someone a hug or maybe give them a real one. Talk to someone verbally. So much more in audio than text. Kitty cats over there meowing, birds. Think about the beach. Corral, Arizona at Apache Lake. Look it up. Pictures are great. Also, maybe I can find one. Peace out, everyone. Toodles. There's still sand in the hourglass. Let's make something out of it. You should sit and watch the clouds. If you sit with a telephone pole in the way or a branch, it's easier. You can see them passing. It goes so slow you can't even hardly tell they're moving. Think happy thoughts.